Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:02 on Friday, the 19th of June, and I would like to call this meeting of the Wellness Center Pool Committee to order. I'd like to thank you, everyone, for joining us. As with all meetings of the Wellness Center and Pool Committee, this meeting is being live streamed and recorded. For the benefit of those gathered and the public watching this virtual meeting, we'll start with a roll call of the 7 participating members of the committee present. When the recording secretary calls your name, please indicate that you are present. If your mic is muted, don't forget to unmute before you speak. And all other individuals present in this large meeting are encouraged to turn off their video cameras in addition to muting your microphones, unless they're presenting, so as to make it easier to recognize the voting members of the meeting. Rebecca, if you would begin the roll call now, please.
Archipelago Reeve, Bert Liverance.
Present.
Carling Mayor Mike Conable.
Present.
McDougall Mayor Dale Robinson.
Present.
McKellar Councillor Morley Hascom.
Present.
Parry Sound Mayor Jamie McGarvey.
Present.
Seguin Mayor Ann McDermott.
Present.
And Whitestone Mayor George Conry.
I'm present.
All present.
Thank you, Rebecca. We'll move into item 1A of the agenda, and that's the approval of the minutes. May I have a mover and a seconder for the May 13th, 2020 Wellness Center Pool Committee meeting minutes?
I'll move.
So moved by Reeve Liverance, seconded by Mayor Robinson.
Yeah, seconded.
Okay, and the motion is that the minutes of the May 13th meeting are hereby approved as circulated. And may I have any discussion, please? Any questions, concerns, errors, or omissions with that record of our meeting? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All in favor? Opposed, if any? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Item 1B would be additions to the agenda. If proposed, I would ask, and let's get a motion on the table. First, can I have a mover and a seconder of the agenda as circulated?
I'll move it.
By Reeve Liverance, seconded
I'll second it.
by Mayor McDermott. And are there any additions to that agenda? Seeing none, may I have a vote all in favor of approving the agenda as circulated? All in favor? Thank you. Opposed, if any? That motion is carried as well. Thank you very much. And item 1.D, declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest to declare? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 2, which is new business. And item 2.1 is a resolution of continued commitment to the West Parry Sound Area Recreation and Culture Project. We have before us a draft resolution from the CAO Steering Committee regarding continued commitment to the West Parry Sound Area Recreation and Culture Project. Would a member of the steering committee like to say a few words of introduction? Correct.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Clayton Harris, if I could make a few comments, I'd appreciate that. Of course, everybody, it's certainly no secret that we've been on this path to try to get a pool for the greater community for probably 20 years or more. I don't think we've ever been this close. We got the application in, 7 municipalities, 2 First Nations. And now we've got this letter in from the Ministry of Infrastructure. I understand that the project has been oversubscribed by about 10-fold. I'd be surprised if every application is getting this kind of scrutiny and these questions. So I think it's a very good sign that we got this question. Really, they want to know, are the collective partners still behind this project? This arrived just Wednesday around noon. So a day and a half ago. We haven't had a lot of time to put our minds to, other than the resolution, the reports that for you, and appreciate everybody be able to get together on this important topic on such short notice. The way the resolution is drafted, we're trying to answer the questions and convey the commitment that that collectively that we have for the project. But we realized that you're a working committee appointed by council, and you don't have authority to bind your respective councils any more than what they've already approved. So the resolution is drafted in a way that it draws on the resolutions that were already approved by your respective councils, and they're attached to the report that was presented. So you can see what each council, virtually every council approved the same thing. Due to a timing thing, the archipelago's wording is a little bit different, but essentially it's all the same wording. The other thing is I drew some references out of the application, specifically the business case that was presented. So what the steering committee has put before you is essentially what either your councils have already endorsed or was in the business application that we forwarded. So it's repackaged a little different to give them the comfort level and the confidence that we really want to proceed. And I think that's the question. They may be sending this out because of COVID, and some municipalities may have found themselves in a different financial position. You know, it's unclear as to why they've sent it out. They also may want to be clear if they're going to endorse a federal or provincial, a municipal project. The federal government, the provincial government want to make sure that they're not going to put someone on the list that is later not committed to the project. So I realize you've only had the report for a short time, but certainly the steering committee is happy to answer any questions, either specific or general, on where we are and what this resolution would mean.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I'll read the draft resolution now and then ask for a mover and a seconder, following which there will be an opportunity for discussion. The resolution reads, whereas the province is in the process of finalizing the valuation of the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, projects submitted for funding under the Community, Culture and Recreation funding stream, whereas the province is seeking confirmation that the partners still intend to proceed with the West Parry Sound Area Recreation and Culture Center, the project, and fund the required municipal portion, 26.67%, or $8,507,934.69. Whereas the province is seeking confirmation that all costs determined to be ineligible by the province or the federal government will be funded by the partners. Whereas the province is seeking confirmation that sources of funding noted in the application are still available. Now therefore be it resolved that the partners hereby confirm that there is no change in their commitment to the project, that the partners commit to be responsible for any ineligible cost as stated in paragraph B7 of the business case selection of the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program application, and that no additional federal or provincial monies will be requested to fund any revenue shortfalls as stated in paragraph B3 of the business case section of the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program application. May I have a mover and a seconder for the resolution as read? Mayor McGarvey is moving. Reeve Liverance is seconding. And now we have some time for discussion. Comments, questions, observations, please. Mayor McDermott.
Just a question. I noticed that we got an email that he was out of town. I'm just wondering where the First Nations sit on this, and whether we were able to contact anyone on this from the First Nations.
Thank you for that, Mr. Harris. Are you able to answer that question?
All I can say is that we haven't heard back, but they really haven't participated in our previous meetings as well. So I'm not surprised. On the other hand, the application, we've got their resolutions in support and they're attached to your report. And we've been proceeding on the basis of not relying on any contribution from them So it's unfortunate that they're not part of the meeting, but they were included in the invitation.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Mayor Comrie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just wondering if we could get a comment from a group on the possibility of ineligible costs. I noticed that there is a clause in our commitment that we're going to be responsible for any ineligible costs as outlined in paragraph B7. I'm just wondering if staff have taken a look at what that is actually, and we're satisfied that there aren't going to be some surprises there where they won't come back and say, oh, well, sorry, there's another couple of $1 million of ineligible costs, so the grant portion is going to go down.
Through the chair, and all of us, including the consultants and working in the grant application, the only cost that we identified collectively that we thought were ineligible was $170,000 that we're spending on the due diligence.
Yeah, which we had already committed to.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Mayor Robinson.
Another question, I'll just make a comment. From McDougall's perspective, we're still remain committed to this project as we have been all along. And very excited to see that we're taking this as a positive step, that the province and through this funding questioning is actually peeling us back into another layer. So we think it's a positive step and looking forward to being able to move forward with this project.
Very much. Comments? Other comments, questions? Are you ready for the question? Can I ask for votes in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any? And that motion is carried unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
If there are no more items, then I thank you for your participation this afternoon, and wish everyone a safe weekend. Happy Father's Day. Yes, Mayor McDermott.
Just a quick question. Do you want us to take this to our councils, or can we assume this is a resolution passed by us and just leave it at that for now?
Mr. Harris, would you have some advice on that matter?
I think that it would be good just as information to let the councils know that this is proceeding. The other thing that's going to be happening, I believe it's July 1st, and the public consultation will be starting. Originally, they were looking at June 22nd, but the steering committee had some thoughts on how they might amend the survey that's going out to the public. And we want to make sure that we are in a position to distribute hard copies from each of the municipal offices. So it's going out. So if you wouldn't mind, we'll be drafting up a response to the province on this. That then could be something that would maybe be the appropriate thing to share. There'd be a covering letter on this. You can share it with your councils. And I'll also confirm the dates on when the public will be able to comment on the survey. So that should be, Monday, Tuesday next week.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Is that helpful?
Yeah, thank you. That's great.
Anything else? Then I will declare this meeting adjourned, and thank you very much. Have a safe weekend, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Great weekend.